Hello friends, how are you all? So today's video is again in continuation of my first 5 videos of series of video for improving your vocabulary and pronunciation by reading book. So as you already aware about that I'll be reading the chapters of any book, and whatever hard words and difficult words will come in between, I will be sharing the meaning of those words. I hope some of you might have watched my first 5 videos of this series, but in case you haven't watched my first 5 videos of this series, I will put the link on the I button above this video so you can refer that. So let's start the video of learning English vocabulary and pronunciation. So let's start reading the chapter. In the corporate world, I had been so busy being busy, I never had time to think about life, and yet reflection and contemplation are among the most important of all business skills. Now, if you see the word reflection and contemplation, so the reflection meaning is parivartan, pratibimb, thing that is consequence of or arises from something else. And contemplation का मतलब होता है चिंतन, deep reflective thought. And yet, reflection and contemplation are among the most important of all business skills. I have since realized that in this information led world we live in, ideas are the commodity of success, and most effective people are the most effective thinker. Julian observed. So now if you see this word commodity, कमोडिटी का मतलब होता है अ यूज़फुल और वैल्यूबल थिंग, या आप बोल सकते हो वस्तु. सो दिस इज़ कमोडिटी. Julian observed, my time alone in those mountains was transformational. Now transformational का मतलब होता है परिवर्तनकारी. For the first time in my life, Peter, I began to develop a true sense of self and to understand who I really was. As he progressed on his trek, he grew weary and began to fear that he would succumb to the treacherous terrain as so many hope-filled adventurers before him. Now if you see these sentences, so यहाँ पे हमको मिल गया है progressed, scum, treacherous, terrain. So सबसे पहले मैं आपको progressed का मीनिंग बता देती हूँ. progressed का मीनिंग होता है move forward और onward in space और time, आगे बढ़े. treacherous का मतलब होता है guilty of और involving betrayal और deception. आप इसको बोल सकते हो हिंदी में विश्वासघाती. एंड टेरेन का मतलब होता है इलाका, हिंदी में आप बोल सकते हो, या फिर बोल सकते हो स्ट्रेच ऑफ लैंड स्पेशली विथ रिगार्ड टू इट्स फिजिकल फीचर्स. सो बेसिकली इट्स हिंदी में इसको बोलेंगे इलाका. Then came a breakthrough as he was traveling on a particularly steep path on sun-soaked morning. So breakthrough का मतलब होता है a sudden, a dramatic and important discovery or development. मतलब आप इसको breakthrough को बोल दो निर्णायक. इसका मतलब होता है निर्णायक. As he was traveling on a particularly steep path one sun-soaked morning, he caught a glimpse of another figure dressed strangely in a long flowing red robe topped by a dark blue hood. Now if you see in this sentence, इसमें हमको मिल रहा है glimpse, strangely and top. तो glimpse का मतलब हो जाएगा झलक, और strangely का मतलब हो जाएगा अजीब बोल सकते हैं उसको, और topped का मतलब हो जाएगा सबसे ऊपर. So topped by a dark blue hood. hood जो जैकेट्स में जो कैप होती है, इट कॉल्ड अ हुड. It had taken him many days to reach this stage, and Julian was astonished to see another person. As he was many miles away from civilization and still unsure. Unsure का मतलब होता है अनिश्चित. The figures refused to respond and accelerated along the path, not even giving Julian the courtesy of a backward glimpse. Soon the mysterious traveler was running at full speed, the red robe dancing gracefully like crisp cotton sheets hanging from a clothesline in a windy autumn day. Please, friend, I need your help to find Savannah. I am looking for the sages, yelled Julian. I have been traveling for 7 days with little food or water. I think I am lost. The figure then stopped abruptly. Now, if you see the word abruptly, इसका मतलब होता है एकाएक. As Julian approached, the traveler, whose face was hidden by the hood, remained strikingly still. Suddenly, a burst of sunlight struck the face, revealing that the traveler was a man. But the worldly wise Julian Mantle had never seen a man quite like this one. Though he guessed he was in his late 50s, his olive complexion was supple and smooth. Now here supple means हो जाएगा कोमल और smooth means चिकना. His body appeared strong and powerful, and the man radiated vitality and vigor. So vitality का मतलब हो जाता है प्राण, जीवन शक्ति, और vigor का मतलब हो जाएगा ताकत. And his eyes were so penetrating that Julian said he was forced to look away. So penetrating का मतलब हो जाता है मर्मंग. It didn't take me long to realize that I had found one of the elusive sages of Savannah, said Julian, clearly still excited by this discovery. Now if you see the word elusive, elusive का मतलब होता है मायावी. Clearly still excited by this discovery despite the passage of time. So I poured my heart out to him on the mountain. I told him why I was there and what I hoped to learn. I told him of my former life in the corporate world, of my heart attack, and of my longing to find the secrets for true leadership in business and in life. Now longing का मतलब हो जाएगा ambition. I pleaded with him to take me to his people and to allow me to discover their wisdom for myself. Now I pleaded का मतलब होता है विनती करना. After listening intently to Julian's tale, the man put an arm on his shoulder and said gently. Now intently का मतलब होता है ध्यान से, carefully. If you truly have a heartfelt desire to learn the wisdom of a better way, then it is my duty to help you. I am indeed one of those sages you have come for so far in search of you. You are the first person to find us in many years. Congratulations, I admire your tenacity. Now, if you see the word tenacity, इसका मतलब होता है तप या मजबूती. You must have been quite a lawyer. If you like, you may come with me as my guest to our temple. It rests in a hidden part of this mountain region, still many hours away from here. My brothers and sisters will welcome you with open arms. We will work together to teach you the ancient principles and strategies that our ancestors have passed down through the ages. Now, principle का मतलब हो जाएगा सिद्धांत, और strategies का मतलब हो जाता है रणनीतियाँ. There was, however, one condition the sage imposed upon Julian. Now, if you see the word imposed, इसका मतलब होता है लगाया जाना, थोपा जाना. Before I take you into our private world and share our collective knowledge, I must request one promise from you. Although we are as isolated here in these magical mountains, we are acutely aware of the turmoil your world is in. टर्मोइल का मतलब होता है उथल पुथल और अशांति. Leaders of every sort are struggling to cope with the great transitions and tremendous turbulence that this new era of business has brought with it. Now, tremendous का मतलब होता है भयानक और turbulence का मतलब होता है अशांति. Competition has never been so fierce, the rate of change has never been so high, and morale is plummeting as people struggle to find solid ground. Fierce का मतलब होता है भयंकर, plummeting का मतलब होता है गिरना, और with all this upheaval, people no longer have a sense of loyalty to their companies. अपहेवल का मतलब होता है उथल पुथल, और लॉयल्टी का मतलब होता है निष्ठा. They lack any connection to their work. Sadly, too many men and women fail to attach any meaning to what they do, and that in turn has led to a lack of fulfillment in their lives. Your heart attack was personal evidence of this. But there is hope for these people, and the hope will come from you. How will the hope come from me? Julian asked. I am here to learn from you. Don't worry, replied the sage. While you are with us here in these mystical mountains, you will discover a remarkable system for true leadership. We will show you a formula that any leader in the business world can immediately apply to transform the effectiveness of his or her company, raising it to far greater levels of prosperity and contribution. We will also teach you timeless truths for personal leadership so that you can get your own life back together and start making a real difference in the way you live. Few in the world have the privilege of learning the leadership wisdom you are about to acquire. Now, privilege का मतलब हो जाएगा विशेष अधिकार, और acquire का मतलब होता है अर्जित करना, अधिग्रहण करना. And yet it is so important that it be made available to all. So, before I take you into our culture and introduce you to my brothers and sisters, I must place one requirement on you. The sage then requested that Julian share the lessons he would learn at the feet of the great sages of Savannah with all those in the West who needed to hear them. It would be his duty to be the human conduit of the ancient wisdom of the sages, spreading it throughout this part of the world and transforming many lives in the process. Julian instantly accepted the sage's term and promised he would carry their message to the West with sincerity and dedication. Now, sincerity का मतलब हो जाता है सच्चाई, और dedication का मतलब होता है निष्ठा. Don't tell me I interjected with foresight. Now this is a good vocabulary. Interjected का मतलब हो जाता है अंतःक्षेपित, और foresight का मतलब होता है दूरदर्शिता. I am one of the people who needs to hear the message of the sages. Believe me, Peter, you will be glad you did. Neither you nor your company will ever be the same. Brushing aside my usual skepticism का मतलब होता है संदेह संशयवाद. I replied with uncharacteristic enthusiasm, when can we start? सो गाइज इसमें जो बहुत सारे वर्ड्स ऐसे आ रहे हैं कि जो मैं पिछले चैप्टर्स में आपसे शेयर कर चुकी हूँ, जो जिन वोकेबलरी की मीनिंग्स लाइक अनकैरेक्टरिस्टिक इंथुजियाज्म ये भी मैं शेयर कर चुकी हूँ. एस्टोनिश्ड हुआ, मिराक्युलस हुआ. सो ऑल दीज वोकेबलरीज आई हैव ऑलरेडी डिस्कस्ड इन माई प्रीवियस चैप्टर. When can we start? I guess I was simply fed up with the lack of progress we were making and hoped that Julian really could deliver the blueprint for renewal and transformation that were desperately needed. Desperately का मतलब होता है सख्त. In spite of his many fallings, there was one thing all who knew Julian Mantle could agree upon. He always told the truth. How about tomorrow afternoon? Is 5 p.m. okay? Julian asked. He reached into his drawer with his right hand. I had a meeting scheduled with one of our strategic partners, but I will change it. Of course, 5 p.m. is fine, Your Holiness, I replied mockingly. Mockingly का मतलब होता है हंसकर, हंसी में. Should we meet here? You seem to have a fondness for my rose garden, and security already knows you. Actually, I had another place in mind. Let's meet at our old golf club. There is something I need to show you, and that place will be perfect. He then pulled out from his drawer what appeared to be a small wooden piece of jigsaw puzzle, and as he had done with the gold ball that had emerged from it earlier, he tossed it into the air of me to catch. Now, emerged का मतलब होता है उभरना. After giving me a quick smile, he turned around and walked past the security guards who had been sipping coffee in the hallway outside the door. See you tomorrow, I heard Julian's voice trailing off. Trailing off means chalte hue. As I watched the long red robe of my former golf partner swing from side to side as he moved further down the long corridor that led to the exit, I shook my head in disbelief. Now, disbelief का मतलब होता है अविश्वास. I felt a sense of excitement, उत्साह. I had not had in a long time. Perhaps there was hope for global view after all. Perhaps I would be able to get my troops inspired and rejuvenated again. Rejuvenative का मतलब होता है कायाकल्प. Perhaps I could actually regain a clear sense of vision for the future of this once great organization. Regain का मतलब होता है हासिल. Maybe this special leadership system Julian had discovered in the Himalayas would allow us to seize the opportunities the new marketplace presented and experience far greater achievement than we had ever known. And maybe I had finally learned how Julian had transformed himself. As I caught myself starting at the foot-high pile for paperwork on my desk, I turned away to study the wooden jigsaw piece that Julian had tossed to me. टॉस का मतलब होता है फेंकना, पटकना. I noticed it had a design on it. Though I looked closely, I could not figure out what it was. But I did notice that there were also words carved into the wood. How strange, I thought. The words were almost illegible. इसका मतलब होता है अस्पष्ट, अपठनीय. Having worn down with the passage of time, I quickly reached into the drawer of my desk and pulled out a magnifying glass. Finally, I could read the words. They read simply, Ritual 1, link paycheck to purpose. So guys, I think I have read almost two pages for this chapter. Now uh, share the I quickly share all the vocabularies which we have discussed in this chapter. So it starts like that. The first one is unsure, abruptly, supple, smooth, vitality, vigor, penetrating, elusive, longing, pleaded, intently, tenacity, principles, strategies, impose, turmoil, tremendous, turbulence, fierce, plummeting, upheaval, loyalty, privilege, acquired, sincerity, dedication, interjected, foresight, skepticism, desperately, mockingly, emerge, trailing off, troops, regain, regenerate, so tossed and illegible. So guys, definitely I will share all these vocabulary words in description box, so you can refer that as well. So friends, I hope you have liked today's video and hope you have find it useful. If so, please press the like button and subscribe to my channel. So thanks for watching guys. I will meet with you with another passage and paragraph. Thanks for watching guys.